Assalamu alaikum. Peace be unto you, and welcome to another episode of Living Islam in America, Season 2. I'm your guest host, Mahdi Bray, sitting in for Johari Abdul Malik. Last week, we got a glimpse at the way young American Muslims are using popular culture to paint a picture of themselves that runs counter to the prevailing stereotypes. I'm excited to pick up where we left off. With us today to discuss the rich canvas of culture and arts that young American Muslims are using to combat prevailing stereotypes is Tahir Amin Qayyum. Tahir is co-founder of the Crescent Moon Night, an organization that builds bridges between people of all backgrounds and culture by providing a nurturing environment for the arts, creative expression, and community involvement. Please also welcome Naima Sharif, who is the founder of Infinite Production, an entertainment company that produces and promotes unique positive events in the Baltimore, Maryland area, including Salam Sunday, a quarterly multi-arts event that features some of the most talented musicians and visual artists in the region. Joining her is Kareem Amin, her partner in Infinite Production. Kareem is also the domestic program coordinator for Islamic Relief. And rounding out the panel is Qasim, better known as Q, Basir. Qasim has also been taking the movie industry by storm and is the force behind the featured film Muslim, a star-studded effort to bring images of American Muslims to the screen that both nuance and universally define images that he feels are lacking in today's entertainment climate. Oh, guys, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Oh, guys. Well, it's really great to have you, and we're picking up from last week, okay? And last week, Tahir, we saw this clip of this young lady who was actually taking it to the stage. And I just wanted you to kind of really give me some feedback on that clip in terms of, because it was powerful, very powerful.
I thought that piece was pretty good because it was great because she's a Muslim woman. Her name was Miss Latifah. She's based out of Atlanta, Georgia. She featured at Crescent Moon Nights over the summer. And it was about her experience at the airport being harassed because she was Muslim. And it got to the point where they wanted her to take off her hijab, and she had refused to do it. And so she went through this whole ordeal about missing her flights, several flights, and just at the end of the day, she was like, forget it. I'm just gonna go home.
You know, they get really crazy with this profiling at the airport. I remember coming back from Hajj, and they took me through the drill, my passport said, Hajj, Saudi Arabia, where are you going? Where are you coming from? I said, from Hajj. What's Hajj? What do you do? Okay, who did you see at Hajj? 2 million people, And then he went on, and finally he asked me, he says, you guys like to listen to tapes and things of that nature, or different sheikhs? Or what sheikh do you like to listen to? What's your favorite sheikh? I said, oh, I got him now. I said, milkshake, strawberry. But my point is that indeed there is a lot of Islamophobia, and sometimes I move away from the semantical distinction, just say, coming from the South and seen it all before, same suit, different bow, just plain old bigotry. Then we know that force. But that force also really dominates the industry. Lots of what we see that really stereotypes our young people, stereotypes our religion, is actually part and parcel of what we call the visual media image that we get both from the news, but nowhere more than in movies. And I just really wanted to, Q, talk to me, because I know you know all about what I'm talking about.
Oh man, we'll be here all day.
No, we're not gonna be here all day, but go for
it. It's seriously, it's almost unbelievable to me that things are happening the way they are in this day and age, in 2010 in the United States of America, in a place where we have been through this cycle many times before, starting with the Native Americans to the Jewish people, to the Japanese, to African Americans this whole time, and now Muslims, and it's basically there basically has not been a more blatant display of discrimination in this country since the days of the civil rights movement, and it's the same in film. And whenever you see a film, whenever there's a representation of someone who is represented as Muslim or Middle Eastern or, you know, anything of that nature, it's always someone that's violent, who's anxious and angry, and it's almost become comical that this is still taking place, that these characters have not yet become human. And my film is an attempt to make these characters, to make these people human.
Okay, and you know, you all are dealing with things like spoken word and other aspects of artistic expressions to be able to deal with that issue. How important do you think it is for young people to take the lead? Because often we provide things for young people, but it's not young people. They don't have ownership in it. You know, they don't, you know, they don't claim it. You know, they didn't name it. You know, and I'll use the masjid as an example. Youth work in the masjid is somebody maybe 50, 60 years old. They designed the whole program, set everything up, then they bring in young people and say, okay, this is a youth program, and they wonder why everybody is bored to death or stop coming. You know, so the whole thing is, you know, getting the buy-in and the tie-in. How are you dealing with that whole concept of young people taking the leadership? Because I say that, you know, with the older people, it's maintenance. But for the young people, we got to do mentoring. So talk to me, Naima.
Well, again, I think it's extremely important for young people to step in and take the lead, because our experience is different. We were born Muslim. You know, our experience is so much different from our parents who converted. So it's important that we take the lead so that, you know, people can learn what it is that young Muslims who are born Muslims are going through, how we're identifying ourselves as being American and Muslim at the same time. We were born into it. We didn't choose it. It kind of chose us. So that's why it's very, very important that, you know, we just step in. But at the same time, it's important that the older generation moves out of the way and allows us to come in.
Absolutely. You know, I often say that the whole idea of passing the torch is a noble suggestion, but some of our elders want to hold the torch to the janazah or the funeral comes. They don't want to pass the torch, you know. So you got to be a little more assertive about that torch factor, because it sounds very nice, you know, passing the torch and something like that. But in reality, sometimes people don't like to do that. Kareem, in terms of this whole idea of speaking truth to power, I know in addition to the arts that you are involved in things like social and economic justice in terms of Islamic relief, and your work in Haiti, your work in Africa and other parts of the world. What's the importance of young people being able to, for lack of a better word, speak truth to power, whether it's in the spoken word or the arts arena, or whether it's in what I call the social justice or the economic justice arena?
First of all, I think we have to define this word that unfortunately has been misinterpreted, and that's jihad, which really means a struggle. And a jihad can be just trying to get to McDonald's one day, or jihad can just be saving your money. And in the social justice realm, I think sometimes it's just trying to fight against certain things like poverty, homelessness, and those different types of things. I got the opportunity to go to Haiti right after the earthquake occurred there, and Islamic Relief was actually one of the first groups to go in and set up tent camps. And actually, while I was there, I got the opportunity to interact with a lot of people. And then actually, our group ourselves, we were under attack by different people, verbally and physically. But through that whole entire thing, we knew that as Muslim youth, and some of the youth that I had that worked with me within the camps, some were Muslims, some were non-Muslims, and even myself, that we had to just take the reins. And when I say take the reins, it doesn't mean that we disrespect those that are older than us, because I had people down there that were mentoring me that were older than us, but there's certain aspects that the youth can bring, that energy, that vigor, and that ability to be able to connect to the people.
I want to interrupt you for a second and go back to our dear brother Q. Q, we don't have an awful lot of time, but I just really want to know a little bit more about the movie Muslim or Muslim. What's the, you know, it sounds like, you know, when people say, oh, you's a Muslim? That sounds like my great aunt when she found I had embraced Islam. You's a what, a Muslim? you know. But
Yeah.
Q, tell me, you know, the impact you think this movie is having, and just give me a little feedback on this whole venture, because I have to say, may Allah reward you, because you know, we don't have enough Qs. We need more Qs, you know, to queue up, no pun intended, you know, the industry on this important aspect of correct perspectives. So can you just kind of talk to me a little bit?
Well, the thing is, as you know, as Muslims, we're raised not to really venture in the direction of arts, especially the visual arts, and you know, I had to kind of find my own way, and I'm sure that deters a lot of other people from doing so. But you know, this is one of the most powerful mediums that can be used to offer people a different perspective or a new perspective on something that they may be completely ignorant about, as there are a great deal of people who are ignorant about the Islamic faith and Muslim people, which is what creates the fear that we've been seeing, especially over the last decade. To start from the beginning with the film, I named it Muslim in this. Let's cut the story short because I know we don't have much time, but
We don't have a lot, but go ahead and do it.
I was meeting with a man one day, a potential investor, and he was actually a retired congressman, and he was sitting there and he was talking to me, older guy, and he finally was like, you know, I have a son about your age. I said, really? He's like, yeah, boy was doing good with his life, and all of a sudden he went and became a Muslim. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, really? He's like, yeah, he went and became a Muslim and married some woman, and just goes on this rant for like 5 minutes about how horrible it is that his son is a Muslim now.
Yeah. Q, I hate to interrupt you, but we're going to have to take a pause and take a break. But in that break, we're going to really get a chance to see a little bit about this wonderful film called Muslim. So right now, we're going to pause for the cause, but stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
I just don't know what I'm doing here. Tariq Mahdi right there.
You're in room 512.
You my neighbor, dog. You want a drink? It was the first time I ever drank.
You're a virgin too, right?
What?
You want to dance next song?
I've never been to anything like this before.
This is a melting pot. That's where we live.
Oh, you might want to think about reining things in a little. What is your deal, huh?
I thought we both requested Muslim roommates, so...
My father requested a Muslim roommate.
Get your kufi and put it on your head.
Yes, sir.
The kids at school give them a hard enough time.
It's a Muslim name!
You can call me T.
I'm sure your mother didn't name you T.
Why haven't you come to see us? Ever since that boy was born, you've been trying to create a carbon copy of yourself.
My boy's gonna be a hafiz of the Quran.
I hear you're doing very well.
I'm really happy it's working out, Hassan. You used to call and sound happy. What happened there?
I'm Tariq.
I'm Muslim.
I'm Catholic. I'm not supposed to be talking to you.
I am here to pick up my son.
I don't want nothing to do with this, and I want nothing to do with you guys. Stay away from me, you hear me?
Are you losing your mind?
Let's at least take off our scarves. We will not.
I am the law today.
You have no idea what I've been through.
Who did this to you?
I'm so sorry.
I beg you, do not let a few people shape your view on an entire faith.
Shalom.
As the Torah teaches,
The Prophet Muhammad said,
Jesus said, do unto others
as one loves oneself.
love your neighbor as yourself.
That one's faith is not complete
until he wishes for his brother what he wishes for
oneself.
the ability to practice our religion
If we don't have our rights,
is at the heart of American freedom.
You don't have your rights.
Salam.
Peace